Roosevelt, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How was jail after the Pullman strike?
It was for a worthy cause.
Sinclair took your advice on those food reforms.
Hey, you wrote The Jungle, right? That's an excellent piece of literature.
Yes, thank you. Now where's this dinner table?
So how's the missus?
Oh, she's good. She's good.
It's good.
Oh, Charbel, come on in.
Oh, a fellow author. I really enjoy how honest your articles are.
Magnificent. Well, if you want to go sit with my buddy Sinclair, he's in there getting ready to start eating dinner.
Okay, I think I will, thank you.
Alright. Oh, hey Susan. Nice of you to show up.
Oh, hello, Mr. Roosevelt. Oh, I didn't know you invited another lady. You must be Ida Tarbell, right? You're the muckraker. I don't approve of your methods, but your articles are indisputable.
Thank you. I was going to go to the Senegal Falls conference. However, I couldn't. I had other business to attend to.
Oh, it's okay. It was wonderful. You missed out, but it's okay.
Well, if you guys want to go sit down in the dining room, we'll be in there shortly.
Of course. Can't wait.
Oh, Hannah. Nice of you to show up. How has business been going? Nice job on McKinley's campaign.
Thank you.
Oh,
Dear God, that
You're
man
so
is
funny.
here. He's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Him and his trickle-down policies are absolutely disgusting.
Ah, Du Bois. Good to see you.
Du Bois, I thoroughly enjoyed your book, The Soul of Black Folk.
Thank you.
Such
You're
nice-
Mr. Anthony.
Hello.
I do hope we don't butt heads on who gets equal rights first, although we know it would be me.
So, I heard you're hedging for the top. Town's the 10th, right?
I do believe that would be most effective.
Well, I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go sit at the table.
Alright.
Who else is coming?
Oh, look, it's Washington.
Oh.
Hello. You. Why are you here? This man is a disgrace. He moves for equality way too fast. We must build acceptance.
Wait, so you two know each other?
Unfortunately, that man believes that we should remain in the shadows and dead-end jobs. Him and his Tuskegee Institute.
Well, looks like we're all here. I'll close this door.
Okay, obviously that struck a nerve, but didn't Carver go to his institute?
And that's supposed to make up for equality? I think not.
Hey, isn't Taft invited? I thought he's been busting trust left and right lately. It's been getting on my nerves.
Okay, well everyone else is at the table, so let's just go sit down, and if Taft's coming, he can show up when he wants.
Well, hi everyone. Thanks for coming. My buddy here, Roosevelt, sure knows how to throw a party. He's great. He's becoming this country's saving grace with a square deal of this.
Like how we waste all that time on conservation instead of working on civil rights.
Oh, hello. Sorry about the big businesses. I don't think you guys will be in the top for much longer. Frankly, your trust disgusts me.
Taft, calm yourself. Hannah, I'm sorry the night had to start like this, but I'm glad you all could make it.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. I put so much effort into this after reading Sinclair's book, The Jungle. Thank you so much for enlightening us on our country's need to reform.
Yes, because that was the point.
Wasn't that the point?
No, you pompous.
Hello, can I get you something to drink? We have water, Coca-Cola, tea, and alcohol upon request.
No alcohol, we're all being prohibitionists, right?
I guess so. Looks like we're not having alcohol.
I'll take a Coke though, thanks.
So what were you saying before we got interrupted?
It was not about the food.
So you wrote an entire book about food, and it was not the subject?
No, of course not. Food was trivial. Did you see what that family went through? Dangerous working conditions, poor wages, barely scraping by, and you think it's about the food.
Well, I do suppose so.
Yes, that's what it's all about. The workmen. They are have the same rights and benefits as others. We are all created equal.
I completely concur. The working class has been taken advantage of for too long. They are forced to live in barely adequate living conditions while the employers sit fat and happy.
Now hold on. Are you telling me that my highly successful Meat Inspection Act and Pure Food and Drug Act are completely useless? Did you just expect me to ignore all those atrocities?
Yes, they were awful. That is not the point. Obviously, they weren't working very well. As I was saying, we need better working conditions to achieve full employment. A working society is a perfect society.
Finally, someone who understands socialism is the answer. It is vital that we raise awareness. Down with capitalism. You may be okay with that, but I am not. You must remember that if businesses do well, then the workers do well. Business is the engine that drives this nation. That certainly would not work. Business would choke all the money out of the poor, and then society would fail. We would not choke all the wealth. It would eventually trickle down to the masses. Isn't that what socialism wanted in the first place?
That opinion is heavily flawed. Do you really think the wealthy aristocrat trusts trickle down to the poor?
Exactly, you dimwit.
Ooh, burn.
Socialism creates a society based on mutual dependence, where everyone is considered equal and working.
Including blacks.
I guess that would be one more for the cause.
Okay, but Tarbell, on the topic of trust, I do believe that they are the bane of this country, pooling all the wealth to the top and driving other businesses to the side through illegal practices. It wounds the economy and steals away the competition. Just look at the U.S. Steel Corporation and the Standard Oil. They use monopolistic strategies to corner the market. All trust should be destroyed.
Now hold on a second, my burly friend. Not all trusts are bad. If a company is able to produce a good product at a fair price, why does it matter? Wouldn't it be good for the consumer? I grant some trusts will overstep their boundaries as the Northern Securities did, but trusts like U.S. Steel saved the stock market by purchasing failing companies. Would you rather be in financial ruin?
I do believe Taft speaks the truth. Trusts are bundles of corporations that hoard wealth and cheat customers, putting millions out of business. This is why we have the Sherman Antitrust Act to bust all trusts, not just the ones we don't like. Think of all the workers that suffer as a result of these money mongers.
You sound like Brian, whining about how business isn't the backbone of this country, except he actually thought farmers were better. Ha! Why do you insist on crying about the workers? How is stealing people's hard-earned money, meaning gold-backed? Don't get me started on that silver crap. Giving it to the struggling workers fair. They are a lost cause. Give it up already. Fish.
That's enough. Everyone, shut up and sit down.
Well, I guess this is as good a time as any, since you were just talking about rights and everything, Since the dawn of time, women were pushed behind men, trailing the children, always expected to remain silent and behind the men. Woman. Tarbell. We must forsake our chains. We must rise up. If you want to be a doctor, be a doctor. If you want to be a politician, be a politician. We should be equal to the men, not behind them. We are the ones who raised the children in this nation, who grew up to be the men and women. We are the ones who cultivated the minds of each child. Therefore, we are truly responsible for the cultivation of this nation. However, we are constantly shoved behind the men while they take all the glory. Jane Addams, Clara Barton, Elizabeth Blackwell, they all rose above and conquered. They didn't follow rules. They didn't follow the accepted societal standards. And it was okay. Nothing bad happened. I urge you men, take the advice that you are given about equality and extend it to the entire nation, women included.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all night.
And she thinks women's rights are their priority. Ha! Certainly African Americans deserve to have their needs met first. And I think the best way to do so would be to place African Americans into higher positions of power. Well, if I may, I do believe that would be a mistake. I feel it would be better to form a solid foundation of vocationally trained blacks so that we would have a solid foundation and be able to effectively assimilate. I'm afraid that would not produce the desired outcome. We must force the general population to recognize us as a genuine force in society. We must form a leadership for everyone to follow and for all to respect. That's ludicrous. What would happen, God forbid, one of them were to fail? Then that sole figure's failure would represent the whole of African American society, and then we would be subject to immense ridicule.
Are you suggesting that we remain under the white man's thumb and wither away in factories? How is that assimilation?
No, that is not what I am suggesting. We need to build our society in increments and focus on what is actually achievable. You're expecting too much of our traditional society. We cannot change in a matter of years. We need an effective base in order to gain recognition by our brethren.
That is simply not good enough. We have suffered for too long, and this time we need to get what we deserve. Would you deny them the chance to rise?
We need to have a realistic outlook. We must give them the means to rise. You're leaving behind millions of blacks who simply cannot get there.
Well, that's not my problem, is it? Those who can succeed should be given full rights to do so.
You are insane!
Now, everybody, calm down.
Well, change subject. Roosevelt, I had a new idea for a foreign diplomacy issue. I think it would be most effective.
You may have the floor.
I call it dollar diplomacy. If you would interject money into countries where we feel greater U.S. influence is needed and build them up with American dollars. Therefore, the way I see it, businesses would grow, our economies would grow, and we would gain new trade partners.
I know you've had good intentions, but that is too much of an investment. Why spend money on countries when you could just force them into submission? Just look at how effective my Great White Fleet was. Japan and U.S. are great allies now. We must use our strength to dominate where we have it. That's why the corollary was established, to keep powers out of the West so that we may remain strong. Those little countries don't stand a chance against the great European powers.
Well, that's where the money is for.
Money's insignificant if the power decides to invade. We need to take control while we have it.
But isn't dollar diplomacy a bit less invasive? We would be on much better terms if we put in money or if we put in troops.
I would rather be in control of the outcome. With money, there's too much ambiguity. What if they take our money but don't do what we ask? Okay, moving on.
Wait, can you please repeat that?
Have you been taking notes this whole time?
A woman? Taking notes? Doing actual work? Pursuing a career? Quick, everyone hold on to your man cards!
Yes, I think the public has a right to know what politicians say, word for word. So how's that expose going on the oil? Yes, Standard Oil. Those people think that they can get away with anything. Rockefeller has been cheating this nation for years, and people like you have stood by and let it happen.
I've been increasing federal control.
Obviously not enough. Mr. Good Trust, bad trust. All trusts are bad, and Standard Oil is no exception.
Yeah, you go, girl!
It's the same with the meat packers, thinking they can get away with anything.
So it is about the food.
Oh God, may God have mercy on your soul. Anyway, I will be publishing this conversation in McClure's June edition. I'm thinking United We Don't Stand, an expose on the chaos surrounding our nation. I have enough notes.
Where did she go?
So, I'm assuming this is over. So we ride! And do we roll?
And you roll. Really?